heart steady, keep on racing. Abusing drugs that I'm taking. I'm okay when I'm under you, baby. I just wanna lay under you, baby. You the one that I want in my life. That I want in my life. You the one that I want every night. That I want every night. You the one that I want.
Hi everyone, it's Melandra here. Happy Monday. More like Thursday, since you know I upload on Thursday. Everybody who is watching this, I hope you're having a great day. And today I'm going to be doing a curly hair maintenance, like everyday routine. I don't know what the title is going to be, but you have seen it if you clicked on this video. It's just going to be some slight, just like an everyday what I do to my curls to help them pop and be moisturized. If you want to see that, then just keep on watching. The only products I really use to moisturize my hair during the week is this olive oil spray, this Shea Moisture, this whatever it's called. It's not meant for my thickness of hair, but I still use it because it works pretty good for my hair because I have a little porosity here. And then regular water. That's all I use. That was a lie because I actually use Eco Styler. This particular type is made mostly for your edge, like slicking your hair up in moisture rather than doing your edges. If I do my edges, I use Gorilla Snot, but I'm not doing my edges. I'm just trying to do a little moisture routine and make sure my hair looks decent. I'm gonna do this like a little grit ready with me type thing. I'm gonna be talking during this. I don't really know what to talk about.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story time while I do this. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all a story time.
So I'll make it less boring. But I'm taking some water and I'm just putting it around my hair right now. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about when I was in 7th grade. I'd say like I was in kindergarten when this happened, but I'm an incoming 8th grader. So when I was in 7th grade, we take a standardized test with our state. I was in my science teacher's room. Shout out to her, she knows who she is. I was gonna take my reading star. I was about to take that standardized test. There is this teacher, you know how when most of the class is done with their tests, a teacher will come in and sub as the classroom monitor where the primary teacher goes and delivers the test off. I take a long time to do my tests because I just do. Most of the people were done with their tests by the time I was done. I'm about to spray this on my hair. But there's this teacher who came to relieve my teacher so she could go to the office. We're just gonna say it's a she, and we'll name her Stinky because that's what her name looks like to me, like how it's spelled. She came to relieve my teacher. I'm taking some Eco Style right now. Each room is listed off by last name. Me and my twin brother, we're in the same testing room, and I'm using this type of brush. We was laughing and joking because nobody likes this teacher. That's just the reputation that she made for herself. When she walked in, we was all laughing and stuff, like quietly. We was like, we was all fake, like not fake, but like quietly laughing. She was walking around, just monitoring us. That's her job for the day. Out of all the kids that was up in the classroom, she decided to pick out my brother and I. Be like,
excuse me, I'm gonna have to take your test because y'all were talking and I'm gonna take your test.
And if you know me, I'm a very good child. I do all my work. I never get in trouble. I'm never late to class, that type of thing. But this was a huge shock to me because I had never been in trouble like that. I'm gonna redo this pub because this is like to work.
She was like, oh no, you were laughing because I didn't know I had a bad reputation in school. I didn't know kids didn't like me.
And the whole class is pretty much laughing, whispering in their own little way, but she co-founded us because I don't know. There was other black people in the room, so I don't really want to say it's racially motivated, but she said, I'm gonna have to ask you to both step outside. And I'm like, okay, because I didn't want to make any problems with the teacher, because I didn't want to get in too much trouble. We stepped outside, and she was like,
oh, I'm gonna go get the assistant principal to come talk to y'all, because obviously you don't get the standards or whatever, expectations of the test.
I'm like, okay, do what you have to do. I mean, it's your job. We'll call the assistant principal, we'll call her Phoebe. Phoebe is like,
y'all know the expectations, y'all shouldn't be doing this from.
Well, my brother was more mad than me. He was throwing down, he was really hyped up. But I was just crying over there. I literally cried today. I don't know why I cried because it wasn't like that big of a deal. But, well, at first it did seem like that, but now it doesn't. She was like,
why didn't any of the other kids get pulled out if everybody else was laughing too?
And we was like, we don't know because we were the only people doing that. The principal was so cool. She let us off the hook. She was like,
but y'all do have to realize that Miss Stinky could have lost her job if she let y'all talk and whisper during the state test.
And I was like, okay, I already know this type of stuff. I was just letting it go one ear out the other. It was off the hook and we went back to class. And then at that point, Miss Stinky, she decided to take her butt and leave. I wasn't comfortable having her in the room with me while I tested because she just made me nervous. So I asked if it was okay for somebody else to relieve my teacher. My teacher was coming back from the office. That's how that played out. I told my teacher everything that happened, that Miss Stinky, she decided to come in there and act a fool and act like I was the only person talking when I really wasn't. I'm taking Eco Styler. So, and sorry if y'all hear background noise because my brother is playing Fortnite or something next door. So, let me tell y'all how I almost got a detention in 6th grade. Teacher that was supposed to be there the whole year, something happened with her family, so she decided to stay home and not teach for the rest of the year, which I totally get. That's perfectly fine if she has to take a break from teaching. There was this substitute, and we'll call her Miss Bolt because her first name kind of sounds like the first name of a certain runner. That's last name is Bolt. So Miss Bolt, she was not very likable at all. She had this whole like mean demeanor about her. In the 6th grade, I was a very shy person. In my 5th grade class, I had all my friends in my class, and it was really simple for me to make friends and have friends in the class. But when I got to 6th grade, I was in advanced academics. I've never been in advanced academics except for in kindergarten, but it doesn't really count. But I was in advanced academics, and I didn't really know the kids who were in that class, in those classes. So I decided to hang out with the bad kids. They wasn't really bad or anything, but they were just not map, if that makes sense. So I was hanging out with them because one of the girls was new, and if you know me, I always like to hang out with new people because it's just a breath of fresh air. I was hanging out with a group of friends sitting at the table. So if you went to my advisory in 6th grade, you already know what went down. The teacher was having a really bad day, apparently. We was talking, and one day she was like,
"This whole row, I'm gonna give you a detention."
And I'm like, because I never got in that much trouble, but I never got in trouble because the teachers knew that I wasn't that type of person. Because I never got a detention before. Even to this day, I never had a real detention. I was like, you can see on my face how shocked and like, I was like, whatever. Like the silent like reading time because she was sick of us. And I was crying. She was like,
"Simone, you better fix your face. Is this about the detention?"
And I'm like, yes, ma'am. I'm trying to be very respectful and kind so that maybe she'll take away my detention. And she's like,
"No, you wasn't really that much talking or doing anything, so if you have a good attitude about this detention, then you don't have to serve the detention."
At that point, I was over the moon. I started acting all fake and whatever because I really was mad and like sad that I got a detention. If my parents found out I had a detention, which they would because they would have to pick me up because I wasn't about to walk home, they would take my phone away for like maybe a month or so. After she said, "Fix your face, and then I will take away your detention."
She was like, "After class, see me, and I'll tell you if you have a detention or not."
And I even helped her clean up her class after class, even though I was about to be late, but it was worth it because I didn't want the detention. And then after class, she was like,
"You know what, Simone? I'm gonna take away your detention. You was acting very nice. You helped me clean up."
I was inside, I was like, but I was quiet. I was like, "Yes, ma'am." She was really being petty for no reason. Just because we was talking. But it's okay. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to leave your feedback by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And until the next video, peace out, Ninja fam.